Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez is appearing in Congress today to explain how his country plans to spend €140 billion in the post-COVID recovery plan. Madrid has to send its proposals to Brussels by the end of this month. Well, to explain this further, I'm joined now from Madrid by Simon Hunter, editor of El País English service. Simon, thanks for joining us on the programme. The big question, what do we know of how the Prime Minister intends to spend all of this money?
Well, Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, he made the announcement. He's made several announcements about these funds and what they're going to be spent on, but he was immediately criticised by the opposition for the scant detail. What we know so far, he's actually discussing the measures at the moment in Congress. What we know so far is that the government's plan is to create 800,000 jobs in 3 years and boost GDP by 2%. He's really touting this as a new Marshall Plan. He's saying it's one of the most significant projects since it was the greatest opportunity for Spain since it actually joined the EU. So he's really kind of building up the potential for what these funds could do. So far, he's just announced in Congress that he's going to extend assistance for people struggling to pay rent during the pandemic, people who are facing eviction for another 3 months. He also focused yesterday on environmental transition for the economy and digital transformation. He's earmarked €13 billion for a sustainable mobility strategy, nearly €7 billion for residential buildings renovation plan, and €4 billion to streamline government agencies. But it's really, I think what he's really trying to focus on is the modernisation of the economy, the much needed reforms to combat youth employment, for example, which has been such a big problem in Spain over the years, the digitisation of public employment services, and at the same time, modernisation of collective bargaining, for example. So the plans are quite vague at the moment, but they'll have to be hammered out over the coming months with business associations, with the unions, and of course, with Brussels. Toward the end of the year, there's going to be some kind of transitory mechanism to get people off furlough and reinserted into the labour market, because the furlough scheme in Spain has pretty much kept unemployment down in a way that wasn't quite expected when the economy was so hard hit. Because what the pandemic has done is exposed the structural problems of Spain. We're in a country that's so dependent on tourism. We're in a country that has the highest number of bars per capita in the world. So all of the restrictions that have been put into place during the pandemic, of course, hit those sectors of the economy so hard.
Simon Hunter, editor of El País English, thanks very much for joining us on the programme.